Welcome to Week 14 Start Sit Show by the IDP Guys. I am joined here by Skinny Chef, aka Will, and then Logan. Um, we're here to help you guys with your Week 14 Start Sit questions. So if you have any questions, leave those in the comments below, and we'll get those answered for you. Feel free to ask any of your waiver wire questions for last minute pickups because we do have some buys today. But let's get started with just introductions here. Will, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So, as Grant said earlier, I am at @FF_SkinnyChef on Twitter. I write the IDP injury report for the IDP guys. I also do our defensive line rankings and Cowboys fan.
Logan, how about you?
Yeah, I'm Logan. You can find me at Sports Talk Smart on Twitter, and most of my work is all in the rankings throughout the IDP guys. And Chiefs fan.
Yeah, man, the Chiefs did not help out the Browns last week, but hey, I'll forgive them. The Browns are their own worst enemy. But we do have one big questionable today, which is Saquon, and he's 50-50. If he does not go for whatever reason, what are you doing to fill his spot?
I think Breida's okay. Not the best, but he's okay for sure. Because I think that game's supposed to get like some rain and light snow, so they might do a little more work on the ground. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking elsewhere if he doesn't play, if possible. But with the buys, and we were talking about it before, like Brian Robinson and David Montgomery. If you've got Taylor, if you've got those guys and you're really thin, you're probably gonna have to play Breida. But yeah, that's a big one for today. We'll know at about 10:30, they say, or 11:30 Eastern.
Okay. Will, I'm sure your fingers are crossed, hoping that he's not playing, just because I think it does help the Cowboys if he doesn't play.
Oh, for sure. I'm hoping that they rest him a week, thinking, well, we're going to need him for a hard push to make the playoffs here in a couple of weeks. Let's not risk it this week. Give him an extra week off, and he'll be even stronger moving forward. But I don't think that's what they'll do. I think they're probably going to try and play him if he's even 50%. They're going to try and get him out there because they don't really have anything else.
So Will just came across our comments and said he just heard Saquon will play today. We'll get that confirmed here.
If he gets played this early, I'd feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Versus like 11 or 15, 20, 30 minutes of game time.
Yeah, and
I don't see anything yet, personally.
Mike Garofalo, he said, is reporting it.
So let's say maybe you've got maybe Zaven Knight or Isaiah Pacheco. Would you run either of those guys out there in bad matchups over Saquon if Saquon goes?
I don't love the Broncos matchup for Pacheco because I really see I don't see the Chiefs losing, but I see a slow game because their defense is good. And sometimes the Chiefs struggle early a little bit. I don't know. I don't have a great feeling about the Chiefs running up the score. I feel like it's going to be kind of a stressful game just as a Chiefs fan. So I don't love Pacheco there. And then who'd you say? Zonovan Knight, and he's playing the Bills.
They're both waiver guys people could actually own, and I'll be honest, I have both of those and Saquon, so I'm a little biased in this question.
I'm a little biased. I'm worried about Pacheco, but Zonovan Knight's not a terrible play because I heard that game's supposed to get a little bit of weather. So they could be working underneath a little more ground. I don't hate Zonovan Knight, but if it's it's hard to say Saquon if he's getting cleared early, and that I don't love Zonovan Knight a ton in that offense right now. I mean, in the offense they're pretty good, but I just don't love him personally. I like the receivers a little more. But.
So I'm kind of in the same boat as Will here, but I don't have Pacheco. I have Rashad White.
I'd play White.
I'm thinking about playing White, but it is. My question is, does he get the same production that he did last week with Fournette in the game?
I mean, they both got a ton with him, both in the game. So I think he's got a decent floor, still 10 points, half PPR, with even with Fournette out there and with not, upwards of 20, 25, 30 points. So he's got that same upside as a healthy Saquon, especially if Fournette's not out there.
And then before we get into questions that are coming up in our comments here, I want to ask you, what are you guys doing with Lamar Jackson since it's being reported that he's out till
Okay. Saquon wait. Cool.
Thank you, Will.
It's saying that Lamar's going to be out till at least Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had him in two leagues that I'm in a playoff, but I was like, in that mid-range because it feels like most leagues are like that. But I can't remember who I picked up there. I picked up Carr and I hate it. And then the other one, I went ahead and grabbed Jared Goff. So I think that game actually gets some points today in Minnesota.
I like Goff in today's game. But as Mark Andrews owners, if you had Mark Andrews, are you feeling comfortable with Huntley back there?
No. I mean, he didn't show very well last year when he took over for Lamar. It wasn't the best showing. I don't remember exactly what he did, but I think he had like barely 200 yards, no touchdowns or something like that. So not super excited for him, even in a good matchup.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and jump into some of these questions already. From a Facebook user, it's a flex play: Leonard Fournette, James Cook, or Rachaad White.
I think it's James Cook for me. Kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier with on of the night. If that weather turns out to be an issue, you could see a lot of James Cook, and what we saw from him last week was really good. So,
I agree. I think that Bills Jets game, the only person it might affect is maybe some deep ball with Gabe Davis, but it doesn't really affect a whole lot. But it just maybe kind of tends them to work a little shorter. So I like James Cook too.
Let's see where we got them in our IDP guys rankings here.
Yeah, I'm on that. Right. White is 12, Fournette is 19, and our running back ranker does not have James Cook in the top 42.
Oof, all right. Maybe my love for him is a little too high.
No, I think he kind of builds off of last week. He looked good, and I think they're going to incorporate him just as much as they did. So,
Tony Dominguez is asking, need two DBs, Chin, Elliott, Bell. Oh, wait, let's see here. I think Elliott, Bell, Duggar, Neal, with Winfield and Edwards doubtful.
I think Elliott's an automatic for me there.
Yeah, I don't. There's no way Winfield plays. So, probably going Elliott and Duggar there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Will, he's in a DB predicament here. I'm playing Elliott, Poyer, and Hufanga today, but Duggar is on the wire. And I feel like he could be a great rest of the season pickup. Should I drop one of the three I mentioned for him?
So I actually made that exact move in one of my leagues. I dropped Hufanga for Duggar. I haven't been happy with him in the league I've got him in. The way our scoring is set up, I think he was pulling me 2 or 3 points a week, and that wasn't enough for me. And I kind of like Duggar. I think he could be a good possibility. There was some good stats I can't recall right now on Duggar.
Yeah, he's got like 20 tackles in the last 3 weeks and a sack.
Thank you. It was something. Yeah, he's PFF's got him at a 77.6 grade for run defense. Talking about Duggar, so.
Yeah, I think I like Duggar enough. I was on the fence, and I think, Will, you kind of convinced me a little bit too. But I think Duggar gives you a better floor and possibly even more upside than Hufanga because that defense is already kind of with him being so good, it makes his games kind of fluctuate a little bit.
Yeah, he's getting the leftovers there.
Having so many good players on that defense.
Tony's saying Chin and Elliott, but Bell and Duggar have great matchups for DBs. Larger snap percentage in the box. Neal 2 versus San Francisco with the injuries.
So you're right. Bell and Duggar have great matchups for DBs, but Bell hasn't been who we have come to expect out of him. That holdout this offseason did not. He just hasn't come back to be the guy we expected him to be. He's grading poorly this year, worse than previous seasons. So I'm really hands off on Bell this year. I've got him in a couple of leagues. I'm starting him only because I keep praying that he's going to kind of give us the floor that he's given us in the past. But I think I would stick with Chin. Personally, I'm Duggar and Elliott there.
Yeah, I agree, but I thought that with Ryan Neal, but if it's Keanu Neal and Winfield and Andrews are out, I do understand that, but I think I like Elliott and Duggar as well.
Yeah, I don't know that San Francisco is going to throw the ball enough for Neal to be relevant, even if they're playing him up in the box.
Yeah, Neal's kind of like a linebacker hybrid, so he does move up there, but yeah. No, yeah, I understand. I thought it was Ryan Neal, but that kind of makes it interesting, but I'm still going to say Duggar Elliott.
Yeah, definitely more interesting.
Right.
So Will Power has given us a suggestion, Mike White for replacement for Lamar Jackson until he comes back. And right now our QB ranker has Mike White at 13. So I would say that's a pretty good.
I wish I would have over Carr.
Well, so they have Derek Carr at 12.
Yeah. He's usually got a safe floor. He usually throws a touchdown.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Is Trey Hendrickson going to be a letdown again this week?
Trey Hendrickson is never a letdown. Hendrickson is he's sack dependent. He doesn't give you the tackle upside. Not that a lot of D linemen have it, but Hendrickson is very much sack and big play dependent. So you kind of got to take the good with the bad on him. And I actually don't remember where I have him ranked at. Let me pull that up because I think I'm not expecting a very good game from him.
So he's going against the Browns, obviously. Browns are 19th against opponent defensive ends, but you kind of have to throw that out because now we have a more mobile quarterback back there in Deshaun Watson that can extend plays. Go ahead.
I was just going to say everything that I just said about Trey Hendrickson, I contradicted myself because I have him ranked at 9 this week. I think he's probably going to have a good game against Watson.
You think he'll get to him?
Yes.
Because I think they'll start getting Watson out of the box or out of the pocket more.
They're going to try to, but this is game 2 in 700 days or 700 however many days. I don't think that his clock is there. I don't think his pocket presence is there yet. And just having 2 weeks of practice isn't going to build something like that back for him. And now he's going up against a better defense than what Houston has.
And he's going to be relying on Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt probably a little bit more today.
Probably.
Yeah, I think. But Watson is one of those guys where he's just kind of one of those top tier athletes. So it's an instinct thing. You feel the pressure and he'll just get out of there and kind of take off. I think that's something that I thought I'd see more with him. But I think Hendrickson gets to him though. I think I'm with Will there. If you're playing the sack, I'm with it.
I might be a little biased just because, I'm a Browns fan. James Cook over Saquon. I fear Saquon will start, but not play nearly enough. He is a scary play, and I agree. It is a risk.
So I'm going to listen to what you guys say there because I have Saquon and I'm staring down this exact thought with Cook no, I have Zonovan. Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't blame you for being terrified of Saquon. I'm going to bench him for Zonovan this week. I'm not going to take that risk. I think versus Cook, I would leave Saquon in. I think he's got a much higher upside, Saquon does, than Cook.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same situation, but I think I'm going to sit Saquon for Rashad White. James Cook, I'm going to start Saquon just based on he could probably play a half of a game and still probably outscore Cook.
Yeah, the report on now is they said he looked good and didn't have any setbacks and didn't seem like he'd be limited at all. So they give us all this stuff, and then like you guys say, he'll play like 5 or 6 snaps and be like, yeah, never mind.
I mean, you can look good in warm-ups. It's when you start getting hit, do you start feeling good? Or are you still feeling good?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I think they were talking about getting more involved in the passing game too, though, and I personally would play him over Cook there. I think there's as much risk with Cook with that Bills offense and Allen just being like, I'm not checking down to Cook, or then for some reason not playing him. I do have a little bit of confidence in Cook this week, but not enough for me to play him over Saquon with him being fully cleared personally.
Yeah, with that strong Philly defensive line, you could see kind of maybe a slight uptick in targets for Saquon, just an extra couple of dump offs here and there. I mean, he's already getting 4, 5, or 6 a week, so if he just gets a couple extra, that one of those could very easily turn into a touchdown.
Hufanga isn't playing much in the box now that Greenlaw is back. Greenlaw is sucking up Hufanga's production, in his opinion.
Yeah, that's just that defense having so many good players, Warner and Greenlaw, Bosa. You know, they're just stacked. So there's gonna be a game he doesn't get his.
Yeah. Marco from the future. Love it, Marco. Start 2, Wilson, Tony Fields, Anzalone, and Levante David. Guys, I am so scared of this linebacker debacle in Cleveland still, because now with Taki gone, you don't know who's going to get the snaps.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely playing Logan Wilson against the Browns.
Look, there's a reason Tony Fields is a thing right now, and that's because the guys ahead of him are not good. I think I'm going to take a shot on Tony Fields, and as much as it pains me to say it, because this man is not a good linebacker, Alex Anzalone is my other pick out of that group. Logan Wilson scares me. He's underperformed for us this week, and I don't want to start him knowing that he's probably going to underperform again for me.
Yeah, Wilson's had a few good games, but like you said, yeah, he's underperformed a little bit. But I think against Cleveland, he's gonna see so many carries that there's no way he doesn't come away with, double-digit tackles today. And then I think Anzalone too. He's been getting so many tackles too. It's crazy. So I'm with you on Anzalone, but I'm gonna avoid the Cleveland thing and just say Wilson that just because of avoiding Cleveland.
Yeah. Last week against Houston, Fields only had 51% of the defensive snaps. Let's see what Owusu Koromora and
Taki got injured last week, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So
JOK had 78% of those snaps too. And then we have to look at Deion Jones.
Do we?
I might change off of Anzalone and say Levante David. They've got San Francisco going to be busy underneath, and Mike Edwards and Winfield are out. So
Deion Jones actually had the lowest number of snaps share at 29%. So I'm staying away from the Cleveland linebacker mess.
Yeah, probably. I guess it's Anzalone and David. the more we talk about it, it's probably Anzalone and David. I think those two are solid. They're going to have a good floor for you.
Tyler said Hendrickson balled out last year for me, but not so much this year.
Yeah, he had a lot of sacks.
He had like a sack a game, every single game. It was great.
Big play dependent.
So Will's wondering why the consensus rankings have Elliott so low this week and Hufanga so high. Rest of the season, Elliott is higher than Hufanga. It's weird.
Yeah, that's a Santa thing. So you'd have to ask Santa why he's got Elliott so low. I don't know. I don't want to try to put words in Santa's mouth. But personally, I would probably have Elliott, especially this week, quite a bit higher because of the matchup. It's going to probably should be a high-scoring game. So,
yeah, and I just heard Santa is moving into a bigger fantasy workshop, or a better fantasy workshop is what I'm hearing. So Santa's going to be busy this December. Last question. I need a linebacker replacement for Sanborn this week. Alex Anzalone, Deion Jones, Dre Greenlaw, Alex Singleton. Well, not Deion Jones.
Yeah, we can mix that really quick. For me, there is between Anzalone and Greenlaw.
I agree. I'm going to say Greenlaw just because of how much the Tampa Bay uses their backs.
Yeah.
He's had big plays every single game for the last 3 weeks and a great tackle floor.
So we have Greenlaw at 22. And Alex Singleton at 20.
I would probably do Singleton this week. Going against Kansas City, he got a good snap load last week, and he did a lot with it. So,
and then we have Alex Anzalone at 31. Are we guessing most of the scoring's coming from the air? Is that why we're ranking him at 31?
Yeah. It's
tackle floor because you'll see a healthy dosage of Cook and Madison still, so he'll have his stuff.
I forgot Anzalone had 21 tackles in week 6. That's just unreal. Or not Anzalone, I'm sorry, Singleton.
But you guys are in agreement that you're going Greenlaw and Singleton here?
Yeah, I think I would put Singleton ahead of Greenlaw.
Pick one. It's a PPR league. Jeff Wilson or James Conner.
Jeff Wilson.
Who's Miami got next?
Miami's got the Chargers.
Yep, that's why.
I think they're terrible against the backs, aren't they, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I think it was close for me off the bat, and I think James Conner, against New England. I'll take the matchup on that one as well.
Yeah. And Mark got Hollywood Brown back, plus Hopkins is there now. Greg Dortch is supposed to be back this week for Arizona, so I don't think that leaves a lot for Conner.
Did they rule out Rondale yesterday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Has Logan Wilson actually had more than 10 tackles this year? He's good in name only ever since the Super Bowl production.
I mean, like a good season last year.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
no, he hasn't had more than 10 tackles, though. That's all I was going to
say. His highest game for tackles is 7.
9.
That's solo tackles. Yeah.
9. He had 2 games at 9 combined, so he hasn't hit 10 combined yet.
It's just a down year for him. I think he'll probably rebound next year.
I think he gets done against Cleveland.
So in our IDP Invitational, he scored 15 points against Cleveland back in week 8. So you can probably expect 15 again with the amount of rushing attempts I think Cleveland's going to have today.
Yeah. It's good to have dreams.
Hey, as long as they don't fall behind early, I can see them running the ball down Cincinnati's throats.
Yeah.
Detroit run D has been really good lately.
That's because Anzalone is a tackling machine. Will hates to hear that.
I do. It hurts my heart. Yeah, it has been, and it's only supposed to get healthier. Okora is supposed to be starting his return. Well, he's back from his Achilles tear last year, so he's going to start getting snaps and ramping up, and that's going to help a lot. I forget one of their linebackers. I forget his name because he's not really well known. Is producing really well on limited snaps right now. So, and their pass D's been pretty solid. Kelvin Joseph's been good. Jeff Okudah's showed up this year for him.
So start Jamison Williams, Moore, or Seymour, and then S. Moore, or Thornton, or drop Moore for Thornton and pick up Hodgins.
Man. If you're this deep, I'm gonna throw out Williams today in that Detroit Minnesota matchup. We've been saying it's gonna be high scoring. I think Williams, if he's in there and got a little bit of juice, he might catch a bomb. I'm gonna take that upside for him.
Yeah, I could see the thought process.
This is for his flex.
Yeah,
probably dynasty.
See the thought process for Sky Moore, but it's got to be Jamison Williams this week with the points we're expecting to get put up this week. Jamison Williams has I think the most upside out of that group of guys.
Then he's also asking, sit one, Nick Bosa, Burns, or Sweat?
Not Bosa. It's tough for the top guys.
Probably Burns, to be quite honest. Seattle's not giving up a lot of big plays to defensive line, and Josh Sweat has the opportunity there to get some sacks. We know who Nick Bosa is, and he's always got that potential. That's why he is who he is.
And the Giants are bad against defensive ends. They're 25th.
Yes.
Yeah, with you having two, I wouldn't say Bosa and having two good ones. I'm gonna say Sweat is definitely gonna get to Daniel Jones, and Burns has a chance to not get to Geno.
Yeah, actually, Sweat's got two good matchups for himself the next 2 weeks, which is the Giants and the Bears. So, if you have any more questions, we have come to the end of that list. If you have any more questions, please let them put them in the comments below, and we'll get those answered for you as soon as possible. There was something I was going to ask you guys, and I'm blanking on it now. Holy crap. Oh, are you guys going all in on the Dallas offense today, playing Houston?
No.
And
it's such a cake matchup that I have fears that they're going to get up 30 points and sit all the starters. I mean, they did that last week. They benched everybody in the fourth quarter, which was great for the backups and stuff, but not so great for fantasy. I think, your starters will get some early. Hoping, Lamb gets 100 and a touchdown. You hope that Zeke gets a couple touchdowns again and Pollard breaks off some big runs. But if the defense ends up scoring a couple of touchdowns, which is possible, and, Zeke gets the 2 rushing touchdowns, that's it. So
let's see if we can answer some questions in our Discord and our just Twitter in general here. Start sit.
trying to find in my teams. I had one I was ready for.
Yeah, I got one.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to bring up: what are you guys doing with the Detroit running backs with Williams and Swift? Is Swift finally getting the production he needs to be relevant again to start after last week?
Yeah, I think he's definitely startable. It depends on who. Like, get good running backs. No, but I think Swift he's definitely like an RB2. It's just still that worry until we see it like for another week, and then it's so late. It sucks. Yeah, if you see it this week, I'd say 15, 16, 17. Confidently low one because it was like the matchup starts the big game, so I think he gets played. I think he's got a good rest of the season.
I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, you kind of broke out there.
Oh, sorry. I just said I think he's got a good rest of the season. He's got some good matchups.
Who is that, Jamal or Swift?
Swift. I think they both kind of do. I mean, the Jets isn't great next week, but Minnesota this week, and then Carolina and Chicago. As long as you see that uptick this week, then I would feel more confident for sure for the next three. But yeah, that upside, and if he gets 14 or carries 6 targets and 20 looks, love it.
Is there a realistic possibility he takes over that backfield and Jamal Williams kind of goes to more of a reserve role, just kind of for rest?
I think we see Jamal Williams in the red zone still, or in like inside the 5 getting carries, but he could go very well down in snaps and carries, which he did last week.
So on Twitter, Shark, People Jones, or Pickens, he needs 2.5 point PPR.
Shark, Pickens, or who?
Peoples Jones.
Peoples Jones.
Cooper, probably.
He was questionable. I have not seen whether he's playing yet or not.
Active 9 minutes ago. Okay, because if he was out, it'd be an automatic Peoples Jones for me.
I think, to me, DJ Shark is a shoe-in for a starter.
Who was the other one for Shark?
Pickens.
Pickens. I don't love his matchup this week. So,
but there's no what's his name? That other wide receiver.
Deontay? He out?
Yeah, Deontay's out this week.
Pickens probably sees double-digit targets then. Oh no, he's off the injury report as of 20 hours ago.
Who?
Deontay.
Oh, is he? I thought it was out this week.
No, yeah, it looks like he got cleared yesterday. I thought, he was questionable all week though. Okay, so no Pickens super breakout game. I'm gonna go with Chark. Yeah, they're just I feel like game just scoring so many points.
Let's see here. Underrated World. Love this show. Thanks for all the hard work. Betting question for you guys. Do you guys like CJ Mosley over the 8.5 tackles at -135 versus the Bills today?
Over 8.5?
Combined makes it a lot easier, but solo, I don't think so. It's a high number for solo tackles. I'm not big on betting, but
I don't know that I like. Well, yeah, I like it. He's 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 5 games this year he's been under double-digit tackles. 2 of those 5 were 9. So yeah, I like the over 8.5 this week.
If it's combined, yes. If it's solo, I'm worried about it personally.
Kirk, Waddle, Palmer, please pick 2. I'm hoping this is a PPR question here.
Sit one.
Yeah, sitting one of those.
Not Waddle. Unless he's like one of their hurt. He came back and played last week. Didn't he?
Oh, can't hear you, Logan.
He came back and played last week, Waddle. And he's good.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so I'm not sitting him.
Probably sitting Palmer. Mike Williams had back-to-back full practices, so it looks like he's pretty healthy. And Keenan Allen's going to be out there. So Kirk and Waddle, I think it would be for me.
Yeah, if Mike Will's back, I'm sitting Palmer.
Underrated World is saying the Mosley bet is definitely combined tackles 8.5.
For sure. He's had a lot of assistant tackles, so it's kind of worried.
Yeah.
For the rest of the season, I have 5 stud linebackers. I can only play 4. I just picked up Evans off of waivers because of bye weeks. Which one would you sit? Evans, Edwards, Wagner, Mosley, or Sanborn? Isn't Sanborn on bye?
Yeah, Sanborn's on bye this week.
So there's the one you would sit.
So, but out of those other 4, who would I sit? Just for shenanigans' sake. Probably that's Rashawn Evans. Probably Rashawn. No, well, is Anderson ending up to play this week?
Rashawn Evans is also on bye week.
Oh, they are?
Who else?
Yeah, that's Atlanta. Duh. Sorry. Yeah. So
who else? Evans?
Edwards, Wagner, and Mosley. Oh, rest of season. That's. I'm sorry, I missed that rest of season part. I mean that.
Oh.
That's gonna be week to week on that, man. Honestly, Wagner's gonna give you some really good opportunities with the offensive situation. He's going to be on the field a lot. TJ Edwards has been balling out this year. He's going to do you really well. Between Mosley, Evans, and Sanborn, those are going to be matchup plays, I think. And so it's really going to be week to week on that, Will. But as you know, we're here every week to help you out with that.
I think Sanborn might be a more of a confident start, but the last 2 you said are definitely a little matchup dependent.
Awesome. Hey guys, if you do love this show and you're getting a bunch of great feedback off this, I would really appreciate if you hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button. With that being said, we have a contest going on. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube page, we are going to be giving away a Nakobe Dean autographed jersey, Eagles green, so it looks good. If you go to idpguys.org/contest, you'll have 9 chances to enter into this contest. We are also giving away other prizes such as subscriptions of different levels to our website. So it'd definitely be in your best interest to go check it out.
Hey, do you guys know what else is Eagles green? The vomit emoji on my cell phone.
You're just jealous of the
Cowboys jersey out there.
I hope Santa's listening to this.
Me too.
Brian Williams is asking, would you play Pacheco over Sanders or Etienne? And how would you start Devontae Smith over Godwin? PPR for both.
No and no, personally.
Yeah.
Sanders and Etienne and Godwin.
So no to Pacheco. Yes to Devonta. I would.
But would you start Pacheco over Etienne? Or Sanders gives you headaches right now. He's either really good or he's okay.
Yeah, that's always been Sanders, though.
They definitely commit to the ground game more than the Chiefs, though. So
that is true. Pacheco at Denver, that's the matchup. I just don't like it enough. I don't see a world where Pacheco's upside is better than what Sanders and Etienne could give you. Yeah, like I said, I like Devonta Smith over Godwin. I think as the number 2 in Philly, he has been sneakily good this year.
yeah, we've got Godwin at 10 and Smith at 24. I agree with Godwin at 10, but I think Smith should be in the 11 to 15 range. I think he's right behind him for me this week. So I totally, I see what you're saying for sure. But I like Godwin's target floor and
Devonta had 8 or 9 targets in 5 of the last 6 games.
True.
So, very quietly, he's had a very productive season. So
yeah, Godwin's seeing 13, 11, 10, 8, 13, Like I said, I think Godwin's just a few spots higher than me for me this week. But
What's the difference between Marty McFly and a Bears fan? Eventually, McFly stopped going back to 1985. Marco, who is your team? I'm guessing, if I had to take a guess, it's going to be Green Bay based off this joke. But would you play Pacheco or White over Saquon in a full PPR?
I think I'm going to go Saquon there still.
Yeah. The full PPR makes a difference.
If Fournette gets ruled out, though, I think Fournette's supposed to play, so I'm going to lean away from White. But if Fournette for some reason gets ruled out before that game starts, then I'd go White. But that's not going to happen probably.
I talked about this earlier. I'm in this situation with Saquon and White, and I think I'm going White, just because I don't want to take that chance of Saquon not playing a full game.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's the least bit healthy throughout the game, you imagine he's going to be out there. They're going to be playing from behind. They're going to need somebody to throw the ball.
Who? Oh, shoot. I wanted to check.
Oh, Browns fan Marco.
Hey, I knew I liked him.
That was I was expecting.
Grant's face lit up right there.
Yep. Your Grant's new best friend.
Hey, Marco, whenever you need a question answered, we'll put you top of the line. Yeah, and the Eagles are mid pack against the running backs here, so I guess it depends on the situation too. If you're safe and you have a playoff spot wrapped up, I'm playing. You can flip a coin, but if you're not in the playoffs and you need those points and you need to take that big risk, I don't know. Then I would play Saquon.
If you need a home run, Saquon in any league, for sure.
All right. Chuck Clark, Sauce, or Chin, and he only needs one.
I think Chin is probably a good your play there. He's going to give you a solid floor. Sauce has that upside for you if you're looking like you're going to be behind and you need a big day. I think Sauce is going to give you the upside. He can pull off a few pass defenses. Even has that interception potential. But if you just need a safe floor, somebody who's not going to zero you this week, I think that's Jeremy Chin. I'm personally not even looking at Chuck Clark right now.
I agree.
Yeah. Will's asking, does anybody want his Vic Eagles green jersey? And then Marco said, I even got a Manziel jersey.
Whew.
So I literally just handed my Baker Mayfield jersey to a Rams fan I play soccer with. I was like, hey, Rich, I got something for you that you might need because you picked up this new stud of a quarterback, and I threw in my Baker Mayfield jersey. It's wrong colors, but I don't see any Baker Mayfield jerseys going for sale anytime soon.
They'll be on the clearance rack next week.
Just going back to my Duggar Hufanga question, do you guys like Duggar rest of the season? I have the first overall clinched, and I will get the bye next week. And so in reality, the points don't matter for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Duggar rest of season.
Cincinnati and Miami after the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I think, those are two offenses that are going to throw the ball. Both of them with fairly strong running games. So, yeah, I do like Duggar rest of the season.
I agree.
Ooh. Go ahead.
I just said I agree.
Back over to Twitter here. Travis Homer or James Cook?
Have they ruled out Walker and DJ Dallas yet?
I highly doubt Walker plays. DJ Dallas long shot. I'm gonna go Homer. They're up. They use their back a lot, and it's like the only one. They got Carolina, right?
Yeah. Who was the other running back again?
James Cook.
Probably Cook. There's two for me. There's too many questions. Who's going to get the carries in Seattle? They just signed Tony James, freaking footballers. I can't remember his name. And you don't know who's going to get the bulk of the workload, or if anybody's really going to get the bulk of the workload. That Buffalo likes James Cook. Yeah. Josh Allen's there. He's probably going to steal a touchdown and maybe some rushing yards, but I think Cook's got the best upside and probably the more guaranteed number of snaps.
So Will's coming back about that Hufanga question. I should mention that my Duggar Hufanga question is also keeper league. Does that make a difference?
No. No, I don't think it does.
It's Dynasty. Sorry, Dynasty.
How many teams?
Will, how many teams are in your league?
If you have like a receiver you could drop that's really bad, you could probably do that. I wouldn't want to drop Hufanga, but I think I would do it for Duggar.
Yeah, I would drop Hufanga. If it's only a 10-teamer, you'll be able to pick him up again in the offseason if you really feel the need to. The nice thing about 10-team leagues is you can kind of drop some of these bigger names and let them sit on the waivers till you need to pick them back up again. I know it's hard to put a big name out on the waivers like that, but just remember it is a 10-team, and yeah, exactly, it's a 10-teamer. You're going to be loaded. So
back over to Twitter, got a question for Garrett Wilson or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ooh.
I like Garrett Wilson this week. Amon-Ra.
I like
It's
St.
Amon-Ra.
Brown just because of the projected high scoring game.
Yeah, it's going to be should be a shootout out there with two quarterbacks that are capable of throwing the ball. Amon-Ra, he's going to get yards, hopefully a touchdown. So.
Oh man, this guy must be in a bad situation for QB here.
No.
Who should I start, Watson or Huntley?
Ouch.
Watson.
Watson.
Yeah, I think Watson gives you a little bit better upside. Michael Carter or George Pickens in a flex?
Officially active as of 8 minutes ago. Oh, he was full practice all week. I'm gonna go Pickens. Gives you better upside with long bomb touchdown.
Yeah, I'll agree.
All right, for my flex, Deontay Foreman, Garrett Wilson, or Hollywood Brown?
Say those again. I'm sorry.
Deontay Foreman, Garrett Wilson, or Hollywood Brown? And this is for a flex.
Hollywood.
Yeah, I'll go Hollywood. I think Kyler's gonna have a league-winning end of the season here if you made it with him as your quarterback. I do really like Garrett Wilson this week. That's tough.
Will said I can't drop AJ Brown, Waddle, St. Brown, Williams, or Watson for a DB spot. The worst guy I could drop would be Mason, but I have CMC.
Yeah, I'm running into the playoffs. I wouldn't want to drop Mason right now.
You can drop him at the end of the season and grab Hufanga back.
Yeah, that would be your play.
So looking at the matchups today, do you guys have a must start that would probably be on the bench otherwise because of the bye weeks? This can be on either side of the ball for you guys.
Ooh, Jalen Petrie could be super duper busy today. And that's someone I picked up. If you're in not a dynasty league, if you're in a redraft league, he's probably on your waivers. Depending how deep it is. But he's someone I would love to throw it against Dallas.
I actually like Ed Oliver a little bit this week. I think he's got an opportunity to get several more tackles than he usually pulls. And definitely there's that sack upside there with Mike White. So.
Ooh.
All right, back over to Twitter here real quick. Rashad White or Travis Etienne in a must-win scenario?
I think Etienne sees high volume today, but I'm worried about that being low scoring a little bit. I'm gonna go Etienne though. I'm gonna go with the better player, and the offense has been better, and Trevor Lawrence is coming off that injury, so they might lean on him a little more.
Yeah, I think that toe injury could benefit Etienne a little bit in the maybe a few more guaranteed snaps in a low-scoring game. There's a really good chance that Jacksonville jumps out to a bit of a lead early, and you could see them using ETN a little bit more to control the clock. Not that he's necessarily going to rack up a bunch of yards off of it, but I think he's got a little more potential there.
All right, let's see here. Marco, start 4, Thielen, Robinson, Palmer, Williams, Thornton, both Moores, and Thornton again. So let's go through that again. Robinson, Palmer, Williams, Thornton, and both Moores.
2, 4.
I think I'll just roll with the first 4.
I want Sky Moore in there.
Yes.
Over probably Josh Palmer, I think. So yeah, it would be Demarcus Robinson, Sky Moore, Jameson Williams,
Thielen.
and Thielen. Yeah.
Hold on. So you guys would take Thielen over Palmer?
Yes.
I would take Thielen and Palmer over the Williams, and I guess I may go Sky Moore over Demarcus Robinson now that I think about it. Gives you a little more upside with Huntley back there. But Thielen, Palmer, Williams, and Sky for me.
Yeah, that's more of what I was leaning for. Chris Moore, I'm staying away from just because they're playing Dallas. Jameson Williams, I'm not quite sure on him quite yet.
I'll take the upside of this deep, though.
Yep. That's the only reason. It's the upside this week, what we expect to be a really high-scoring game.
So I agree, Will. Smash that like button. So Will is not the only one on the stream that who liked it. So
I liked it.
With that being said, let's wrap it up here. It's 12 o'clock. I got to go get my lineup set. Hopefully I can advance in the next round of the IDP Guys Invitational. And then I have another league where I have to win them in. Just been decimated by injuries this year, but that's fancy football for you.
Yep.
So with that being said, remember to go check out the idpguys.org /contest for the jersey entry. And we're also running a special over there as well for you guys that want to jump in late season. With that being said, Skinny Chef, where can they find you, and what are you working on?
You guys can find me at ff_Skinny Chef, and all of my articles are on the IDP Guys. Right now, I'm just focused on, like the rest of you guys, making the playoffs and setting my teams up to make a deep run. A few teams I sold out on early in the year, looking towards next season. So, Will, thanks for all the conversations. I see your message in there. I enjoyed talking through some football with you this week.
Absolutely. Logan, where can they find you, and what have you been working on?
Yeah, you can find me at Sports Talk Smart on Twitter. Like I said, I usually am back in the rankings, and I help work on the off-season draft kit stuff. So you'll see that next week.
Also, guys, we are dropping little short videos started this week on player props, IDP and offense, and then also game bets. So go ahead and go over there, check those out. Matt and Brandon and Leo did their first set of videos this week, and they are good. So we got one last question here from Marco before we sign off here. Drop Duggar or Adderley?
No, I want Duggar.
I would love to play Adderley this week with Derwin out, but you can't drop Duggar.
Yep.
Well, there you have it, and we'll see everybody next week. Best of luck on your matchups this week.